So apparently I'm the devil. Wait, what? So, in these videos, I want to examine superstitions and how they hold people back. One of the things that I noticed is a lot of people have some really crazy traditions that haven't really been analyzed or examined for their worth. And one of those superstitions I encountered, two close friends of mine are having a child, their first child. Yay! As such, many people are giving them advice, some of it good, some of it bad, some of it a little off of center. One of the bits of advice that they've been given that I feel is heavily influenced by superstition has to do with their two little kittens, two adorable little kittens. They're about yay big. They look like little dust balls. Adorable things. And many people say, oh, well, if you're having a child, you got to get rid of your cats, because, well, people haven't really thought of it but there's a superstition that cats attempt to steal a baby's breath or are very threatening to the children and are actually in a danger to newborn infants. I think this is a little bit crazy. Part of the argument, there's two bits to the argument. One is that the smell of a mother's milk on a baby's breath will actually lure a cat into suffocating the child. I will examine that. The second argument, which is actually even easier to address, is that the litter box is a host of viruses and diseases that can affect the child. This is easily addressed. First off, if you're a parent, one of your duties as a parent, I said duty, is to actually safeguard your child from any potential dangers. You have Clorox underneath the sink. That's just as dangerous as a litter box, if not much more so. You have sharp objects. You have all kinds of things. You segregate the child away from those things. So if you can't figure out how to isolate a litter box or to keep your kid from constantly bathing in the litter box, you might want to reconsider having a child. Just saying. As per the first bit, the smell of food on a baby's breath, I'm going to address this. One of the most common foods that a child eats, obviously as an infant, is milk. So I bought various different forms of milk. I'm going to ingest them, swish them around my mouth, make sure that my breath smells like milk, and then see if my cat Mimsy will actually try to suffocate me or even go anywhere near the smell of my breath. I will make sure that she has access to that, make sure that it's easy for her to get to, and we'll see what happens. We should take a look at what actually is the threat here. So let's take a moment. So apparently this is the threat. This little thing here. Oh. My cat Mimsy, who is actually pretty feisty, admittedly. She is apparently the threat to a newborn baby. She's not much threat to me. Well, she tries. But still, I think personally, if this is your greatest threat to your child, child's in pretty good shape, really. But we'll see. On to the experiment. Right, Mimsy? Okay, so here is the milk, right here, that I'm going to use. It's various flavors, strawberry, vanilla, even a little bit of cookies and cream, just to try to see if we can trick Mimsy into suffocating me to death. Dead. Done. Okay, so let's try it. We will start with the strawberry. So, now that we've tried the strawberry, we're on to the vanilla. So much milk. Okay, so that was interesting. Now moving on to cookies and cream. I do not recommend this. I'm pretty sure I'm going to barf. Just say. Like a liter's worth of milk in one short sitting is not a good idea. Okay. I do this for you guys, just to prove your superstitions. Superstitions. Whoa. Hi. How are you? I am fine. Oh, okay, so there you have it. Mimsy didn't even remotely try to do anything near my mouth. She sniffed my nose a little bit at one point. That was about it. So, unless you want your baby to never be sniffed, it's safe to say you should be fine. That being said, of course, any animal has a risk, an inherent risk, just like having a bigger brother has a risk to the child. Maybe the bigger brother's a little rough. Same thing with animals. Maybe the cat is a little bit feisty, just like Mimsy is. Your job as a parent is to protect the child. If you cannot protect a child from a cat, your child is doomed. There are many threats to an infant that are much more significant than a cat. Not baby-proofing the house enough, cold, shaken baby syndrome, yada yada yada, the list goes on forever. It's your job as a parent to know these things. Yes, it's overwhelming. It possibly is overwhelming. I don't know. I don't have a child. My friends are going to have a child. They're going to learn all about, the fun job of learning these things. But again, a cat, for the love, it's a big ball of fluff with tiny little claws that are no sharper than if you didn't cut your nails often enough. So really just put some thought into these things, people. Superstitions really bank on you not examining them in the same way I did. So I cannot really blame you for holding them, but now that you've seen, now that you've seen live evidence that a cat will not go after food breath. Now that you've thought about secluding the litter box in a room that's not right next to the child's baby crib, I feel like you got this. You should be good to have cats and not risk your child's safety any more than all of the inherent issues that are in the household anyway. So, I will say this though, the one thing I learned from this experiment that was quite unexpected, should have been expected, is how hurtful it is to drink a lot of milk in one go. I don't recommend it. I think it was dumb on my part, but for the sake of science. Okay, so yeah. So don't let your child intake liters upon liters of milk in one go. No matter how hungry the little squirt seems to be, it's a mistake. Okay, that being said, I bid you a fond adieu. You now have the tools to counter this superstition of cats being a danger to infants. And without further ado, I will say so long, and I will also have Mimsy say so long. Mimsy says so long. He's feisty.